Fast forward, Jumbo in raw political highways. So I'm saying, I'll say, AGH politics avenue. Podcast or trending because make headlines. And only a jumre na yedibi Akroma or any dimia who rocks you and a daily can you message which must subscribe to the channel, hit notification bell, so share na Addo for a council inside into me in Kevin dimia who rocks you, Egypt or political highways in Unia, Igri, a enyak some kra na ene medu ra a Kevin Taylor as Unia. Basa ene timi koso e Parliament House ena papa yi tumi de nano atumbi na wa chere say you certain MPs bi no e wo ha certain MPs bi no e wo ha and say we mutran Parliament cry we're making a whole lot of exposition revelations as to how they are not supposed to be in Parliament, and some working and say we working hard to make sure that these people lose their seat. At this point in time, yamun ra e Kevin Taylor so abrawa jembre na o probe into this a chaos it me a popping up or Ghana Parliament. AG politics.
About 30 NPP MPs we are not supposed to allow to enter Parliament again. In fact, Nipa 87 or 86 no more Parliament. It is important we cut it into two. In 2028, about 30 of these people are supposed to stay home. That means about 50% of NPP former Parliament, they need to stay home. They are not supposed to go back to Parliament. Maybe omo constituency, Adikudienti Akuffo, they are not supposed to be in Parliament. Now, I don't even know how to start. But there was some women and what happened in Parliament tonight and not this evening or today. And then they say, there are so many people and they are MPP for Besako back. Ako catch them say, the moon or TV so no enya. The monitia a course or TV so say ye Jimmy and one nipebi ye juma. Your colleagues on the other side, enya bria, omo to tunyoma ye juma na ye Jimmy no. Because of the way a MPP for ebu omo followers so Jimmy. Because of the way a minority MPs way, they don't respect their constituents, I am very sure they are going to go back to their constituencies and tell Ghana for say, the moon or TV soon now one cry no and no cre. The moon say Alban Bagbin etwa on Parliament AD Juma, AGG ayed nyotum, Emma Sebio ye pass Emrania de Adeno, and no cre. Na the na mumuya yen na nyansa wum. I'm very sure they will go out and tell their followers. Because you see, the NPP, the party itself, and the MPP say NPP losing with this big margin, they still don't respect Ghana for. They still don't respect their constituents. They still see say Jimmy to such a amount to me. I'm say Yajun will form to Sabronye. I'm going to say Jimmy to say Supeku. And so the party is not ready to understand the say Ghana for no money ye deal no. Ye near be Yajun Mate, a crasini Ghana. Now, team, let me address one or two things and then we will enter into Parliament. What do you guys think? If you think I should just go straight and then deal with Parliament, I think we have a lot of things to deal with. I can go straight and enter Parliament. Team, Mr. P, Mr. S, what do you think? Do we just go in or I deal with 1, 2, 3? I just have about 3 things. Should we go in? You just said yes, boss. I want to know, should we? Okay, my team, they are saying that we should go straight and take care of business. Now, the NDC or Parliament in there. The reason why in here and there, Sanyoma Wenina, Ekoso, our Parliament, and then say, a minority for a MPP for say, courts, Asha Emra say, a Pandai elections, of course, 2024. No, sa elections, no. Eye court a Ghana agiatum a judge dano no. I catch Ghana for nyina say. Den. Eye sa abana omotoye no. Se wentwi e course ene ntokwa ne ketahye ne proye ene aba nipa bi wiaye ene ne kan mu ene ballot papers ne ballot boxes e bi ira enti judge ne say sa abana yansan to ne foforo. In fact, judge na otena case no so anka say NDC about power anti Sakmandai seat no yemfama NDC for. The judge never said that. The judge never said say Sakmandai seat no yantam seat in Fankoma NDC because John Mahama na president. Or say, sa wonchi ene mena mi wini na we na wini a asem na be pie court a court ejina evidence so ejina sebio adanse so etie afani nyina no judge ne say from the otie free NPP for ho any the otie free NDC for no ohu ne say obia wo case na sebio on person be deny pandai for of a member of parliament. Na sebio almost so omo ha omo gidi tum se omo to abatia sa MP we no so on person be deny omo that right and almost so sebio omo to abama sa MP we no so no on person be nya adwunu bi say so omo bu mra so a e wo se mra no ejina it was say twa no ekoyo ebayo wa wo se pandai for pewo no monko back na mo nyina mo san koto aba no se MP na ote so no se pandai for hu ni se ono an omo pa majority of the people omo to about pandai they don't vote for that MP. Se MP otesuno se sebio abane to no mu no bibia ankoye na nipa bi ewi abani mu a we will know ebi pandai for no ebesesa omonsa. That is all. Judge na nkasa munkoku obi. Judge na nkasa munkofa ase edu nketi amra. Wankasa munkofa ayejo Mahama mbra. Wankasa munkofa na opokwa. Wankasa munkofa Akuffo ano. Judge ne say we pandai for they need to have some kind of understanding. They need to come to some kind of closure. They don't want a constituency to feel say ebia they not also we win and ebia the way winning ebia enseso be win na judge ni pese sa peace na pandai for team no or pese or sustain peace because there's still tension in pandai. And the reason make us attention want to say okwa pandai na the onipa do bebre wo ha omakume mu no omu di arewo ebufu ho if you say omadwene ye omo say anaso omu hu ni say pe de si ye nti obi ewia aba no de ma MP no na judge ne pese obi sebio pandai for ebetwa omo akunti o say se pandai for pe eye current MP na omo koto aba in 2024 no 99.9% of the order ho tiase and omo nyina no so omo da ho wo e de registered him inti mun sanko na mun koto aba no mukoto aba no na se moda ho pesa MP na oteso na why not samon pena eno so ebekire. That is all. Inti eno ena eba parliament a speaker of parliament kire say sebio court ede emra aba court edi asem ema court say yendi mra we so parliament bebi a ehemra speaker of parliament oka say yentwe na de isi beka no na yenhwe sebia mra no beko yeto ena ebepto ho say e wo say emrana court action no e was a parliament di so and a parliament say yendi sa emrana so enti sa pandai seat no clerk of parliament e de krata every isi wo in fact isi for and e de koma eye parliament say former Alban Bagbin clerk na ka kire Alban Bagbin say eye ne isi for ye ready ye pese ye pandai na ye koyi MP every say court say ye nsan kwoto aba no and a clerk yi ono ye de hye ni nsem and the bra speaker say speaker enie and a speaker say endie court na kan dia mom yanko pandai ni yanko de yanko to aba say MPP ni no ogine wudi say we wia banim na sebi pandai for pena omo muti won beto ama no asa this should not affect government business. This should not affect budget passe appropriations. It should not affect a estimate approve. It should not affect. This is simple. I am very sure say MPs or more parliament in so win your seat no send there you can see a kotoaba na say uji tumpa say wona win seat now I don't think you have a problem. So why do you think say this straightforward action taken by the Speaker of Parliament and Parliament as a whole no today some people from the minority the NPP piglets the inner monkeyism trait na wo mu no why do you think say they exhibited it today busa hu say adentra it's because time and no more power no they never respected the rule of law. Now I mention what David until Pandai is resolved government business is going to suffer. What you say so another pre constituency as some kind was say until Pandai issue no omo benya di omo pe no say ende ye di sika eko eye clinic ana hospital bia e won constituency a mema aban fanko say won ti asia sa na se kire o say sa Pandai asem na abesi na eye court ahye parliament say yenkoto aba no another pre MPP for say send over time be at the regional hospital And sa akwara bi eda the district clinic, district hospital. Na se bia e wo se aban pass sika bi ne ye de koboa no hospital. And atoyenche bi e si wo constituency. Ye de sika bi e ye wo constituency kwan. Ye de bibi e ba wo constituency. Another press because court ahye mra omo pese ombedi suniti. Sa sika na ye de bra wo se ye fa nchichiri wo kuro. Ye fa nto e de moja e fa mra o constituency. Ana ono one constituency. Na ebia ende emergency nti obi wo ma moja tu no ye hia moja e wo san kedi bi ma no. Another press and the NPP will say no. And then ka pimfo ewu. And then ka injanka. And then ka ende anadwumi no ka say accident bi asi. Na se nipa bi behia emwe fra ban ho. E wo say di sika to moja. E wo say di sika eya nyoma bi a. NPP for say until say pandai no ye dik sit in be che omo no. Omo mpene e mo ba time bi anya e de enkwa. Another press omo mpene e ma Ghana mpuntuo bi a ye bi a constituency bi ano enya de omo be pene. That is the meaning of the statement. Into the omo ye no say anopa no go gina parliament say and the omo ma Ghana bibia nkoso Ghana. This is diabolic. This is dangerous. And there you no say Sankofo we nyina no they feel say omo fa wudie e na ye tietia so parliament. Let's do something. Mama show ade bi. This is Kojo Akroma and the Ogranti interview. Now, mungo ti Akroma. Omuko parliament and then in parliament, yama obi aho kwan ma obi adi mraso eye de osoye anameboa. Now, your friend be procedure. Procedure idea bia odeba ye twi kasema senia ye di mraso anase senia ye hihye nyoma ema ne kokan yo ye di so pepepe and different procedure. Enti procedure we ni ye fa so saa kwan we ni ye fa so saa den e kwan we ni ebedi so ma ende ye nyina ye tena table hu ni edidi a ye nim say procedure bi wo ho a wotam fork a ontumi entam fork mienu oso tam ba ko no bi so fa ba ko emo wotimo a ontumi nti emo gu plate miensa so wote ba ko pe e wo nko plate so enti procedure ye nyina ye didi eno na udu parliament a ye friend emra procedure edi so now ende before me go into a matter no the kind of monkeys we have in parliament as minorities. And you see, the NPP, more idea be say, sa opportunity no munya na disrespecting Ghana for a boom random so edin kwasi asem no, they are still in that shock or that state of mind. They still think say they are in power. They still believe say obi Jimmy. They still think say when they speak, everybody should automatically see them as intelligent people. After another Prenya the opportunity to read about 10 pages of Omu speech, they got the opportunity in the same parliament to read 10 pages of Omu how they feel about Pandai issue na abeda parliament. I see rerun. Nobody touched another pre. Now, Omu we no and I say Omu pene ema NDC for dear Omu kan omano asem. Now you go to your Akroma can say me we are there. Listen to Akroma.
In this instance, before the NDC came to power, there was a pre-advertised agenda to get rid of the Chief Justice. Already made that ruling. No amount of pressure should be brought on him.
Finally, as a caucus, you have made your point clear through your minority chief whip that this particular letter should be withdrawn. Now, per practice, we know that once you make that submission, we should hear from the other side of the house. In this case, you are opposed to hearing from the majority. We do not know what exactly he's going to say. Why don't you just give him a fair hearing so that we know the way forward?
Procedure is being used to perpetrate injustice in this country. So what they are seeking to do is to cool down the temperature and normalize it with a long discussion and then tell us that we can go to court if we don't like it. We need to let people understand that this is a political chamber. And all the tools of the trade are available to us in this political chamber. Now, if injustice is being perpetrated of this nature, we will withdraw cooperation. So what we have done is to withdraw cooperation. And prior to this, we have been cooperating. Every single report that comes, we support. We are working towards appropriation on the 19th. There's no business that we haven't supported. We are minded to support the government business to go on. But now that they have elected to put a spanner in their own works, by trying to use instruments of state to snatch this seat from us, we are left with no choice than to suspend cooperation. We have a lot of respect.
So, Kojo Akroma Kasano, or say, journalists Busan say, per practice, Mwaka masem nyina ewie ema monyonko form ya majority ne tena ho. Omo numbers doors chemo about 10 times. They sat down, they listened to you in the chamber. Journalists will say a very intelligent question. We say upon come and say, but colleagues no more the other side. And when you people went into parliament, now we reading with speech, you said everything you want to say. Most of them say a redraw letter now if issue up and say or say rerun the course. So Parliament of Ghana, maybe a shembra and no one emrano. It allowed you and your group to say whatever you want to say. In fact, about 10-page document. Your leader today, Addo, read everything. And now, journalists will say, now, per practice, I didn't say, Oti, kebima min kebimum, say, unim nyansa na unjimiya. Say, Sebio, say, ubu Ghana fwa, omosha wa parliament chamber nimu ewo TV swa. Why don't you also give the same respect that they gave you to do what? For them to also tell their story, to also share their view on the same issues you want resolved. Because say oka no bianca, then there is no dialogue. The reason why there's one part, there's part A and part B, and they say we need to have what we call dialogue. I was so we share now we are sharing now back to a conclusion. Now if you making a decision. Into journalists and say they say I'm the opportunity. This is a democracy. Parliament is not more. I didn't know my NDC for no chance. Momo soon read your dear and count my journey. Now yen to me who may be a bit ND because until say NDC for no ultimate to match your margin was some way a match margin. We are not going to get to anything because we need to get to a conclusion. There should be dialogue. Nipa bako enen hundin komo. Kojo upon kuma bien and no say procedure is being used to perpetrate injustice. What you say? Or say a procedure, be a friend procedure. Senya ye di emraso ana senya ye fa a kwan bi so ede nyomabi e wo Ghana ye nyina ajatum no. O se nipa bi e fa sa kwan so ede debia e den ede oyene ene ede nipa bi fa hodie ntiatia so aba. The question here is the same Kojo Ponkroma and his group of monkeys, they used the same procedure to tell the world in parliament how they felt about the decision of the speaker. Procedure. This same NPP piglets relied on procedure because without procedure, Addo wouldn't get the opportunity. Like the majority leader, Hassan Ayaraga, would not allow Addo, such a clown, a silly boy, to spend about 30 minutes spewing trash and listening. It was because the NDC or parliament understood or understands, say, procedure is very vital when it comes to dialogue. It's the same procedure upon Akroma is telling you that people are using the procedure to perpetrate injustice. They capitalized on the same procedure to be able to make their point heard. They capitalized on this same procedure because I don't think, say, without procedure, Addo, that silly boy, and could be an opportunity to stand on his feet for about 30, 40 an hour to tell us the trash he told us today. But because the NPP or because the NDC and Parliament and Speaker himself, they respect that procedure, and Addo led these piglets and monkeys to speak their mind in Parliament. I hope you understand what I mean. Sebio, you are claiming that procedure is not being used, but the same procedure was what you stood on today. That was your springboard to make your case that you do not understand why we should go back to Pandai to do what? To go and vote or go have a rerun. So it tells you clearly, say, this group of NPP piglets, this group of boys and girls in the NPP who are not intelligent enough to understand, say, the Omo Yeno, Omo Magana for a more say, they don't even deserve to have 87 MPs in parliament. Now, they wanted to rely on the same procedure to instruct or plead with the speaker to adjourn parliament. Why were they using procedure to make sure speaker adjourns parliament, to stop parliament today from working? I thought they had all the powers. I thought they could have all risen, or they could have all gotten off their seat and said, say, we are going home. But they wanted the speaker to go through the procedure. They wanted the procedure to work. And it's at a point, after they exhibited the highest form of monkeyism, they still told the speaker that, Mr. Speaker, we want to stand on this. And with all due respect, instruct you to adjourn parliament. That is procedure. But the same fools will turn around and meet the media and say, oh, procedure is being used to perpetrate the injustice. How? How can you make one statement here and the thing you are against, it is the same thing you want to favor you? You are using the same procedure to make your case. You are using the same procedure to speak your mind, to put across your grievance. But the same procedure you are telling us that if somebody has to use it, now that procedure is evil. This shows how foolish these people are. Now, time on page of Musaka as speaker, air journey case, now procedure ben or mofaso. Sir Tolon MP, the only time that fool stands in parliament to speak is when he's calling for a head count. When the speaker said, say, Omokan we no busa say,
we ain't some who team course watch on so, Mamma so Jim or Senate or body, area dumbi, Adumania, Yensen Ship, not Yensumu Yipa. Aha, AGH politics up.